I just want to talk about some basics that I know about money, right? So obviously, I'm called Matthew. I'm a fireman, online marketer. I'm a dad, and I like to do these lives. I'm pretty nervous actually, because anytime you talk about money, you get quite a lot of it. I never talk about anything that incites more emotion in people. Let's put it that way. And I just want to lay down before I talk about it that I am definitely not a money orientated person, but what I am is freedom orientated. So, firstly, right, let's get real about it. Money is important. It's very important. It's as important as the shelter above our heads. It's as important as the clothes on our backs, on our kids' backs. It's as important as the food that we eat. So money is important, and in a civilized society, nothing can take its place for what it's used for. It's just nothing more than a tool. And if you want to get really deep, it don't even exist. But I recommend you get into books and start looking on YouTube about money to learn a bit deeper. Now we find out about money from our parents, from the people who bring us up, and the people who we're surrounded by, and also from school. Now, if our parents, for all the good things that they teach us, and our friends and the people around us, for all the good things that they know and the good things they can teach us, if they don't know loads about money, they can't teach us about something they don't really know about, which is fine, which is exactly why I'm learning about it. The reason why they don't talk about money they don't teach us about money in school and how to manage it is because they're teaching us in an old system which teaches how to get a job, not how to be the person who owns the company. So they're teaching us how to get a job, which ironically enough is which pays the most amount of tax as a percentage. So we're getting taught by the government on how to get a job which pays the highest amount of tax, which pays the government. So I don't know, if that doesn't set any alarm bells off ringing, I don't know what will. And what we're kind of getting taught to be is consumers. And because the way that society is with advertising, with social media, everything now, technology is getting better and better. We can have everything now. We're falling more and more into the trap of being consumers. And meanwhile, whilst we're working in our jobs, paying 20% tax, just about having enough money to live on, we're getting taught to be consumers. So we think that we have to spend even more money that we don't really have. And meanwhile, the 1% of people who are actually disciplined enough to look outside the box and start producing, they're the ones getting richer and richer from the stuff that we're consuming. It's really, really simple. It makes loads of sense, right? What we're effectively doing, if you're part of my generation, and it's definitely going to be much more as the younger generations, this is what I'm kind of worried about for my kids. And if you've got kids, I don't know if you're worried, but maybe you should be and start to look into it a bit more, is we're picking up the debt for bad management from the 80s and beyond, right? So that's why now we have 2 jobs. Some people have 3 jobs. Some people of us will do anything they can to get money. But we're doing anything we can to get enough money together so we can pay off the debts and pick up the pieces of the mess left by the people who didn't know how to manage money before us. So the last generation, right? And the way out of this, the way around this problem, because we're not getting taught in schools about money, we're not getting taught by the people we know how to get money, because most of the people we know, let's be honest, are consumers as well, buying things they don't really need to seem richer than we all actually are, because that's how society is. So who's actually going to teach us about money? Well, unfortunately, we're going to have to teach ourselves about money. And what doing a live video like this for me does is, when I teach something, it helps it to sink into me a little bit better. So this actually helps me doing this as well, because the message sinks in a bit more. But I hope that you guys are getting a good, some good value out of this too. So we have to educate ourselves about money, about finances, about budgeting. Now, budgeting is something I am definitely not good at. My wife kills me about it. She hammers me about it, right? But she's amazing at it, luckily for me. But it requires us to be disciplined. And if we're disciplined enough to shield our minds against the adverts, society wanting us to buy this and buy that and be as good as this person, as good as that person, if we can be disciplined enough and happy enough in ourselves to not have to try to buy all this stuff, and we can educate ourselves, then what we can do is pass that message on to our kids, and we can change the course of which way society is going, which is down the pan and into even more debt. And if you can't afford to live on 2 jobs, what the hell are they going to do when they ain't even got enough time to work in 3 jobs? That's all I'm saying. Look, this is not about, money's not about getting rich. Learning about money is not, it's nothing to be ashamed of. It's not about being rich. It's not about buying material things. It's simply about not being a slave to money, and not being a slave to your boss, to whatever else it is that keeps you working and trudging away for nothing at the end of the month. You might, as far as I'm concerned, you might as well have a ball and chain on your leg and be working in a concentration camp, because at least there you have the shelter over your head as well, and you still got fed. Right, guys, so that's enough of me. I'm sure you're bored. Catch you later on, guys. I love you. I'll see you later on. Bye.